Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
Welcome to episode 95 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison from the Membership Guys, and this is a show where we dispense proven practical tips and advice for running a successful membership website. And today, I'm talking all about choosing your idea for a membership site. What should your membership site be about? Now, it's important to remember that all of us entrepreneurs, no matter what business we're in, we're essentially just problem solvers. You're not a web designer, you're not a coach, you're not a fitness trainer, you're a problem solver. So this thinking needs to be at the root of your membership idea. You need to understand the problems and challenges that your members face even better than they do, so that you can provide them with a helpful solution. Now, you may already have something in mind for what this solution will be, but if not, start by brainstorming all of the possible subjects you could cover and all of the possible ways in which you could solve problems. So, what topics actually interest you? What areas are you most knowledgeable about? What problems do you already know how to solve? What subjects are people keen to learn about that you have the necessary skills, knowledge, experience, and expertise to teach? Which topics are people willing to pay to learn about? So what sort of courses do you see out there on websites like Udemy or lynda.com? What questions come up frequently inside Facebook groups? What is it that your existing audience actually wants to learn about? And what questions are people asking across different social media channels that relate to your industry? Once you brainstorm some ideas, narrow those down by asking yourself the following for each idea that you have. And if you already know what your final idea is at this point, then use these questions as a sanity check to determine whether or not your particular idea has any weak spots. So you want to ask yourself first and foremost, how strong an audience is there for this subject? So are there Facebook groups? Are there existing communities, forums, blogs, discussion groups about this topic? You need to make sure there is actually an audience and a market out there who will buy. How much competition exists from other people who are covering this same subject? How much expertise do you actually have on this particular topic that you want to build a membership site around? Because while you can technically create a membership site without being an expert, and that's something we've covered previously here on the Membership Guys podcast, it is going to be limiting if you don't have skills, knowledge, experience, and expertise that you can leverage in order to teach someone something or help them achieve a result and solve a problem. How likely do you think it is that people are willing to pay to learn about this subject? So are you able to prove that your market is a buying market? Are there books? Are there other memberships and courses around this subject? And how easily can you create content related to this topic? Ideally, your membership idea should have evolved from something that you're already creating content about on a blog, on a podcast, because most memberships are going to consist largely of content and community. So your ability to create ongoing content related to the subject is a big determining factor of whether your idea is one worth pursuing. So by asking yourself those 5 questions, how strong is the audience? How much competition exists? How much expertise do you have? How likely is it that people will pay? And how easily can you create content? By asking those questions for any ideas that you've shortlisted, you should be able to come out with 2 or 3 possible ideas for you to really start narrowing down. Try to keep your ideas as targeted as possible. Think niche, or if you're in the States, think niche, not broad. So instead of saying to yourself, I'm going to create a membership website about Facebook ads, try, I'm going to teach fitness professionals how to use Facebook ads. The more targeted you are and the more focused you are with your idea, the easier it will be to attract your target audience. Ideally, you want to be filling a particular gap or solving a specific problem for them. If you can't decide between ideas, see if there's any way that you can merge or combine them. But in the end, the idea that you settle on should be something that you're passionate about yourself. After all, you're going to be spending a lot of time with it and with other people who care about that subject too. However you ultimately decide, pick just one idea to go forward with, and you can always keep the others on the back burner for future projects if you find yourself with 1 or 2 other ideas that you'd still love to do someday. Now, when it comes to your idea, one of the biggest mistakes we see people make with their memberships, and we talked about this a few times on this podcast, is rushing ahead with what they believe to be a winning idea and investing a lot of time and money into what essentially is a non-starter. And no, your spouse, family members, or even your best friend telling you that they think your idea is great isn't enough. You need to know that your actual target market wants what you're creating. And this starts with researching how your audience currently solves their problem. If there are other products or services on the market that cater to the specific needs and challenges that you've identified within your market, then that's a good sign that your idea is one worth pursuing. Are your potential members buying books, software, courses, or even joining other membership communities to help them to achieve their goals and to solve their issues? Get a good idea of what is and isn't working within the market and where the opportunities for innovation lie. You also need to start collecting leads early. What better way to validate that people are interested in your idea than by actually capturing their interest, specifically their email address, which they submit as an indication that they want more information. So you can use a service such as Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, or Unbounce to get a basic landing page set up within minutes to use as your waitlist, where you should be able to get an initial read on whether there's any interest in your idea or not. One of the best ways to really validate your membership idea is to test the market by creating a minimum viable product, otherwise known as an MVP. These are great ways to establish that the demand for what you're offering exists and to save you a lot of time, effort, and disappointment if your idea is a non-starter. So, for example, if you're planning a membership site that teaches people how to play the trumpet, test the viability of this by selling bundles of one-to-one Skype lessons. If you want to build a paid coaching community, do a trial run consisting of a series of group coaching calls that are supplemented by a private Facebook group. Again, this enables you to determine whether people will actually pay for the solution to their problems in a way that doesn't involve you having to create a lot of content up front or having to spend a lot of money on tech, on developers, and so on. If your membership site will offer lessons teaching how to use a particular piece of software, then you could first try an MVP of an ebook that focuses on one specific use or one specific area of that software. The time you spend researching and validating your idea will be the best investment that you can make for the long-term success of your membership site. So hopefully this episode helps you to figure out what idea you should pursue when it comes to your membership and to give you the starting blocks of being able to actually validate that your membership site idea is a one that could go places. That's it from me from this week. Thank you so much for downloading this episode, for spending a bit of your day with me. I hope it's been worthwhile. I hope you found this useful. As always, I'd love to hear from you across social. Send me a tweet at membershipguys or give me a shout in our free Facebook group, talkmemberships.com. Just type that into your browser, talkmemberships.com. That'll send you through to our free Facebook group for membership site owners. We've got about 3,300 members in there right now, helping each other out, asking questions and all that sort of stuff. So if you're not in there, get in there and let me know what you thought of this episode. Thanks once again for tuning in. I'll be back again next week with another installment of the Membership Guys podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out the membersiteacademy.com. The Member Site Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. So whether you're still figuring out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Member Site Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement and advice, the Member Site Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage and grow a successful membership website. So check it out at membersiteacademy.com.